Hi and welcome to a little tutorial about how to make a flowchart using lucidchart, which we at our school, you may as well have as a little add-on to our Google Drive. So firstly, we're going to make a new, what do we call it? Flowchart. So you go to your Drive. Actually, I'm already there over here in a different tab, so I'll go there. And whichever folder you want to make your diagram in. For me, it's Year 10 design 3D design project, and you're going to go new. And when you normally you'd be making something simple and ordinary like a Google Doc or a spreadsheet or something, but under more you will find a few more things, and I'm hoping lucidchart diagram, that's the one we're after. Create in a shared folder. Yeah, I've shared my folder with my other account, so don't worry about that. And it's opening. Now, while we wait for that to open, I'm going to show you what the completed flowchart is going to look like. What a flowchart is, it's a diagram that shows the step-by-step of a project. So it's just a way of showing a whole lot of steps. Sorry about that. There are a few protocols that we tend to follow. One of those is this little, what do you call that, oval but not quite an oval shape, is generally used for the start bubble and the finish bubble. Have I got one for my finish bubble? Oh, there, but it's not connected because I haven't actually finished this diagram. Then you're putting the steps in the order you want to do them, and you're having arrows to show the flow, the way the actions are flowing, the things you're going from and to. Now, every now and then in your flowcharty thingy, you may want to do more than one thing at a time, and you can show that by doing something tricky like this. You can figure out different ways of showing that you're doing two things at once. You also may want to make a decision, or ask a question. This is set up so that the way a flowchart is generally done is that you try to stick with yes/no answers, and the shape we use for that is a diamond shape, and always going off. One of the corners is a yes, one of the corners is a no, and as far as I know, there's no proper protocol for which goes where, but maybe there is that I've never discovered. Anyway, at this level, you don't need to worry about it. So to turn this question into a yes/no answer, I've worded it as, is my design perfect? And if the answer is no, I have to go back up here. How can I scroll? And you can usually, if you're tricky, you can, well, when we go to make it, I'll show you how to put the word in the middle of the arrow. If the answer is no, they have to go back up here and start again from, carry on from there and go back through this section of the process. And they can do that repeated number of times until they've got a yes answer to that question. I'll just scroll down so you can see, until their design is perfect, in which case they can move on. Now, throughout your process, you probably have more than one decision to be made. Do I know how to make it on the computer? If the answer is no, you'd learn Tinkercad. Of course, there are a lot more steps in this. So like this could be broken into another 5 steps, like create a login to Tinkercad, follow the tutorials on Tinkercad, try making a few practice shapes, check them with the teacher, whatever. Anyway, you can make it as detailed or as simple as you want. The more detailed you make it, the easier it will be to plan out your steps in your design process. So for a huge complicated project like building Auckland's motorways or something, they would have millions and millions of steps all in particular orders, but they'd be cunning and categorize them and things like that. Anyway, that's what we're making. Now let's go back to how we actually make it. I'm going to start with a blank diagram. You can start with all these templates, like these. You might want to flick through these because they show you some of the examples that other industries might use, but for now we're just going to start with a new one. Do I have free trial? No, just a minute, pausing you again. Okay, this time I can create a new flowchart. This is what I'm after. Okay, it's given me a little instruction tips here, but I actually want to skip those because I already know how to use it. Okay, so firstly, you grab your shapes from there, you drag them and drop them in, and then you write in them, and this one's going to be start. Start. And then my next one's going to be a step in the process. Make that box a wee bit smaller, and I would type into there what that step in the process is. I would grab a little arrow and put it, make it go between that one and that one. See the little, like the dot, when I click on the arrow I get those little dots on the end that I can drag around. Now when you come down to one of your decision things, I'm just checking whether it does actually give me a yes, no. Oh, it doesn't. So how did I then write the yeses and the nos on that earlier? Okay, I just had a little bit of fun playing with the menus up here to see what else I could do. But anyway, as we were making an arrow. Oh, that's what I was going to say. There's another way of making an arrow from a shape. If you hover over the corner of whatever shape of one of your shapes, you can click and drag, and it will make your arrow itself, and in this case it has put the yes no words in it for me. I may want to switch them around or something. You can work that out. But if I didn't have those on an arrow, it just did it for me. That's amazing. If you didn't have those words on an arrow, you could grab an arrow just the normal way. Two ways of doing it. You can drag a little text box out and actually write the word on it and then drag it over the arrow, or if you double click on an arrow, it gives you a place you can write. Isn't that cool? So you can do all sorts of cool things in this program and link it up and make it into a flowchart however you want it. Now, exporting it when you're finished is the last thing we need to be able to do. And we want to, you can even put pictures in it. That's cool, but we're not going to do that. What we need to do now, is it saving as we go? Oh, okay, yes, it's saving as we go, so that's saved. But what I need to do is actually save it as a picture that I can paste into my document. Okay, so to share it with other people as a picture, to save it as a picture that I can then paste into my document that I'm giving to my teacher so that they can see my mind map, you go share, and you could just email a link to it straight to your teacher using this, but we're not going to. We're going to go advanced and look for publish, and out of the options here, we could do it as a PDF, but we're just going to go for this one. We want the image format really, so we can treat it, so it will treat it as a picture. PNG is pretty good for pictures. The screen zoom view, yeah, that'll do. Publish page, and is it going to give me the option of PDF or image? That's what I want to, I've already done it there. Okay, publish page. Okay, so what's it done? It's giving me it in a very unusual format. Just a moment, let's see what I've got. I see what it's done. And then I have to save it as an image. That's kind of messy. You can muck around and do all that, or if you're super lazy like me, the other option would be take a screenshot of it, chuck it in your document, maybe crop the edges off it so you just get the picture. You may have to, if your flowchart is really, really long, you may have to zoom out so that you can see the whole thing. This page, this canvas background that the flowchart is on, it's quite cunning. It can extend as you make, if you make your flowchart longer than the space you've got here, it kind of, I'll just see if it can do it. I don't know if it will, but it kind of just adds to itself. The reason it's given me the dotted line on it is to show me that if I was printing this, that's where the page would end. Now, what else do you need to know about this? The zooming out and the zooming in, you can figure out. Maybe that's all you need to know. Oh, no, I know what else. Okay, because we're on the free version of lucidchart, we're limited to only, I think it might be 50 items on the page, and it counts every single arrow and every single shape as an item. So if your flowchart does get quite complex and you get to the point where it won't let you add anything else, then just select a cutoff point. Like say I'd got down to here and there was an arrow that ended there. Oh, come on. And then it wouldn't let me do any further. You could just stop it there, create a new document and carry on from there. And then when you hand it in, you'll have to give me both pictures and maybe add a note to it saying continued in next picture or something like that. Anyway, enjoy, have some fun, make a nice pretty flowchart of some kind. The end.